Hey everyone, today I'm going to share my experience shooting natural light portraits with the Leica Q3, the 28mm version. So I recently had a portrait session with the client that I've been photographing since 2022. She always been very happy with my work, but this time it was a big change from the last times. After last year I sold all of my Canon gear, including the R5 body, my lenses and my flash equipment. In this video I will be sharing many photos from this session, so stick around and tell me please in the comments, what do you think? Does the Leica Q3 can handle portraits with natural lights, or do you prefer using other gear and flashes and the usual stuff? Since I wanted to work with natural light, I scheduled our session between morning and midday when there's enough light coming in through the windows. I have to admit I was very nervous about how she would react to the new look of the Leica comparing to the Canon system. So I prepared her in advance, telling her that it will be a bit different, but in my eyes, even better. Once we started, I took several photos at her house, at darker places and in a place with more light, like her balcony, to show the area that she works in. You know, next to the computer, on the couch, on the sofa, outside, all the places that she visits her clients and that are relevant to what she does. I took about between 30 to 40 photos in each location, and I kept my aperture at 1.7, open all the time, so as much light as can come into the camera, because, as I said, I didn't use any flashes. The battery was a great surprise too. It lasted for a whole 2 intense hour session, and I still left with 60% at the end. To keep the vibe comfortable, I decided not to show her the photos during the session. Based on my last experience with her, I felt that it will help her be more relaxed and focused on just being natural. In my photo session, usually I aim for a quiet, calm atmosphere, you know, not those party photographers who put loud music. I just try to have a relaxed conversation, and I find this approach helps bring the client's personality more naturally. So before the shooting, I limited my ISO to 800, though most of the photos didn't pass the 400 ISO. And I didn't see any grain on the photos, so that was great. For this session and any other session that I do for clients, I shoot JPEG plus RAW. But this time I used mainly the JPEG photos afterwards. I love the beautiful colors straight out of the camera that Leica has with the standard look. But of course, even though I love this look, I edit all of the photos in Lightroom and in Photoshop. My goal in the editing is to highlight the clients in a way that show her clearly, while also letting the relevant spaces for her home in the photos, like at her writing desk, the computer area and the balcony, whatever she works and meets with her clients. I really love that the Leica Q3 with the 28mm version allows me to capture the whole space, and if I wanted to crop to her face, I can do it with the 60 megapixel sensor easily, and it's like I have 2 different focal length lenses. So comparing to my other Canon gear, it was really nice that I have a fixed lens, and this is all I can work with in the session. Also, the small body of the camera, I think, really allowed my client to feel much more comfortable comparing to the big, like DSLR camera that I used with all the flash and the fancy equipment. It was just like I took her photos with my iPhone. Also, I was a bit surprised of the photo that she picked up in the end. I sent my clients after a session around 170 photos, which is a lot, but most of them was a slightly different expression on her face, and I know that she wants to pick what she feels more comfortable with, so I will be doing my advanced editing afterwards in the photo that she will pick. And comparing to the last time that I did that with her, she picked much more photos than before, and I was really happy with that, because it showed that she was happy with the result, and I felt like she was really like the photos even when they were unedited. After a few times that I took her photos, I felt that I would know what photos she would prefer over the others, but she still surprised me with her choices, that she picked up photos that I didn't thought she would pick, and skipped the photos that I was sure she would absolutely love. I think that the Leica Q3, the 28mm version, is really perfect for portraits in natural light because of this 1.7 aperture and the 60 megapixel that allows me to crop to like an 80mm in portrait session, and it can really capture the whole environment. But it's really interesting for me to know what you think, so please let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.